Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Franco and today I'm gonna go over the last shoot I was involved with, which was an ad for a website for a special kind of gym here in Berlin. So basically I was looking on Google Maps for specific gyms and businesses and that sort of stuff, and I came across one that had a special kind of business model where they would rent out the whole gym to specific people. So you could have the whole gym for yourself. So it was ideal for influencers, business people, people that just needed a bit more privacy, or videographers like myself. So I reached out to him and we got in contact, and then we started planning the shoot. So when it came down to it and we arrived to the shooting location, we had about 4 hours to shoot the entire thing. So yeah, this video is just about how we went through that process, what were the problems that arose, how we solved them, and what was the end product. Was it any good? Alright, so the goal here was to create a short, straight to the point trailer which had like kind of a documentary style to it, and it was gonna live on the website of the gym business. Yeah, so the video needed to be short and straight to the point, which is surprisingly uncommon on websites nowadays. So once I got to the location, it was all about just building some rapport with the owner and the talent, the guy that was going to be in front of camera, since it was the first time that I was seeing him in person. And in the meanwhile, because we both got to the gym at the same time, he started kind of cleaning up, and I used that time to just set my camera in different locations and see what would be the best composition, since I didn't have time to do a recce beforehand. Basically, the idea was going to be we were going to have the guy talk in front of camera in A-roll shape or form, which is going to look a little bit like an interview in a documentary, plus the B-roll shots of people training and just showing the location and just the different installations and the different things that you have in that gym. My original idea was to have a wide angle with the talent sitting kind of in the middle, just to show that the whole gym is kind of just there for us. But yeah, while the other guy was cleaning and I was kind of setting up the camera, I kind of didn't find any angle that I really liked. First of all, because there was 2 mirrors and it was very hard not to see myself or the camera in the reflection, and second of all because this gym has a private kitchen and a private toilet, which obviously is a hell of a luxury, but it doesn't look good on camera. I ended up going closer and closer and closer until I settled for the rack where you can do push-ups and all of that. I think it ended up looking good because it was kind of dark, kind of moody, it had a real strong gym vibe, and the rack itself kind of created a frame within a frame for the talent. There probably would have been a better alternative out there if I would have spent some more time looking for it, but I always try to find a good balance between producing a good image and not wasting other people's time. Sometimes perfect is the enemy of done, and in this case I'm pretty happy with what the A-roll ended up looking like. So once the A-roll setup had been defined, I shot it twice. So there was a script which I had the talent say in front of camera. First time I had him look straight into camera, which is a bit more common in today's social media world. It's what I'm doing right now. Like I had a key light that was shining on the side of his face, which was showing towards camera, which is usually the opposite of what you do. You want to be filming on the shadow side, like I'm doing here. It's not a very pronounced shadow, but it is a shadow. But I just thought maybe I'll just separate him a little bit more from the background. It can be a bit of a flatter image. It doesn't necessarily need to be a bad thing, but you could see the key light a little bit in the reflection of the mirror. And I didn't think it was a big deal. But then when we did the second try and I had him look a little bit off camera, like if he's just talking to the interviewer, I set the key light on the other side so that his shadow side was showing into the camera, and that actually ended up looking much better. So we ended up going with that. And you didn't see the reflection of the key light on the mirror, which was good. You could still see a bit the reflection of him, of his back on the mirror, but I don't think it was a big deal at all. So once the A-roll and kind of the most important part of the video was done, we moved over to the B-roll. And I had a shot list here with some important parts that I wanted to touch upon, and those were basically just have some wide shots of the gym to show that the whole space belongs to whoever books it for that hour. Then just some shots of the talent, which was not going to be the owner but his wife, setting in the password and coming in to show kind of the security aspect of it. And then some stuff like, for example, setting the phone on a tripod to show that if you're an influencer you can use the space for yourself. A shot of the talent setting up a speaker, because if you're alone you don't need headphones. So those shots, we had to get them out of the way, and those were on my shot list. But once we were done with those, we moved on to the workout, which is kind of the climax or the high point of the video. And for this part, I just improvised because I thought it didn't really need a specific shot list. So basically we had the owner, so he's a personal trainer, so he created like a quick routine that looks good on cameras and that works to show all the different equipment that's in the gym. We had her do the training and I would just shoot handheld. The first shots, everything that was on the shot list was shot either locked off or on a gimbal, kind of easing into the action. And then once we get into the action and once we get into the workout itself, it was just handheld because it looks very good on fitness videos, shows a lot of action, and yeah, it works good. I focused mostly on getting mediums and close-ups, and it was a lot of movement going side to side or up and down, either of the talent jumping, doing jumping jacks, or moving the weights around and stuff like that, which was good because that means that when you're in the editing room, you have a lot of clips that have the same kind of movement, so it's easier to cut between those clips. So there was one new challenge that came up here, and it was that the wife of the owner brought her kids with them. I'll get into why this became a problem later on. Okay, first let's jump into the editing, so what happened after the whole shoot was done. So the editing was surprisingly easy to do, which is always a good sign. It means that I'm happy with the clips that were shot themselves. Basically, I just build up the A-roll sequence with my favorite clips. Then I put on some music, and then I put some B-roll on that cuts in sync with the music. By the way, you can always let me know if you want to see a specific type of video. In this case, if you want to see maybe a breakdown of how I edited this video, just let me know in the comments and I can do that as well. For the music itself, I grabbed one that I really liked and I got it off of Artlist if you ever want to sponsor me. I shortened it to the length of the video, which was about a minute. And the cool thing here, and I've been doing this for a long time, is you just use the AI remix tool on Premiere and you just slide it to the length that you want to have it to, and 90% of the time it works flawlessly. So yeah, I was really happy with that. And then the music kind of came to a perfect stop at the end of the video, and it was kind of like a quick climax and an abrupt ending, which was perfect to just put the logo there. And since it was so abrupt, it didn't even need any animation or anything like that. I could just do like a hard cut to the logo and it worked perfectly for the flow of the video. A few challenges that came up here. First of all, there was a lot of close-ups that I really wanted to use that I couldn't use because when we were shooting, I didn't notice this, but when we were shooting, we were having such a good time because it was B-roll, we didn't need audio, so we were playing music, we were having a chat, we were talking, and the talent was laughing a lot, or she was smiling a lot, let's say, in front of camera, which obviously when you're doing a fitness video, you kind of want to see that suffering and that sweat and all of that. And yeah, when you shoot hundreds of clips in one day, sometimes those clips go unnoticed where the person is smiling until you see them on a bigger screen. There was a few close-ups of her face which I really wanted to use, which I couldn't use because she was smiling a little bit too much. But yeah, I guess that's always a good problem to have. Hey, that we were having too much fun basically. And as I said, we had enough good clips anyways that it didn't really matter that much. And then the other problem was, as I said, that she had brought her kids, which I wasn't planning on. But then when they came, I said, maybe we can use this for the script. We can show the clips of her walking into the gym with the kids to show that if you're renting the gym for yourself, you can even come with your kids and that's not an issue. The problem was that then I forgot to do clips with the kids later on. So the training was just her and there's no clips of her just leaving her kids to play in a corner or something like that. So it looks like the kids just disappeared. I ended up not using those clips in the edit. It just goes pretty much straight into her setting up and then going to the workout. Luckily, I also did some wides of the gym without anyone in them, so I could just use those instead. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So, after all this work, was it worth it, let's say? In my humble opinion, yes. I'm pretty happy with the results. I think it came out pretty well. There's a few things here and there that I would change if I could go back in time, but I think no project ever goes 100% as you expected it. There's always a few things that you could change here and there. Perfection in that sense doesn't exist. If I could go back, maybe I would also add a few more speed ramps here and there on the B-roll. But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the video. And if you want to have a look, here it is.
I'm Team Major, fitness coach, athlete, and founder of the Squat Pod. Over the years, I've trained everyone from pro athletes and celebrities to every branch of the US military. What I realize is simple. People need more freedom, more control. Whether you're a fitness coach, content creator, or someone who just needs more privacy, you shouldn't have to share your space. You should own your time. That's why I created Squad Pod, a high-performance gym you can book by the hour. No waiting, no distractions, just your space. Our mission is to lead the future of personal training and tech-enabled fitness spaces. And our vision is to give wellness coaches everything they need to grow a brand, build a community, and run a business all in one place. This isn't just a gym. This is the future of fitness. This is Squad Pod.
So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a business owner, whether fitness or otherwise, and you are looking for a similar video to put on your website for social media or whatever, I'd be super happy to help. So I have a link in the description with my website where you can see my portfolio and get to contact me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one. Bye bye.